Most men do not miss the signal because women are impossible to read. They miss it because desire makes them either blind or reckless. Listen, folks, you have probably been there before. The conversation is warm. She laughs a little longer than usual. She holds your eyes, asks personal questions, stays close, then says something that sounds casual but feels loaded. And suddenly your mind starts racing. Is she interested? Is she just being playful? Should you lead? Should you wait? Should you say something bold? Or will that ruin everything? This is where most men lose control. One man freezes and lets the moment die. Another man rushes, pushes too hard, and turns attraction into discomfort. Neither one is leadership. A stoic man does something different. He reads the whole moment, stays grounded, respects the line, and moves with calm confidence. Today we are going to break down the subtle phrases a woman may say when she feels drawn to you but does not want to sound too obvious. Not so you can pressure her, not so you can play games, but so you can understand attraction without becoming desperate, confused, or careless. You will learn what these words may reveal, what they do not guarantee, and how to respond like a man with self-control. And stay sharp, my friend, because the final lesson is the one most men never learn. Real intimacy is not created by force. It is created by presence, timing, and trust. Let's get into it. Number 1. When she calls you trouble. When a woman looks at you with that small smile and says you are trouble, do not brush it off, folks. That line may sound playful, but in the right moment, it can carry a lot of heat underneath it. She is not usually saying you are dangerous. She is saying your presence has stirred something in her. You made her feel a little curious, a little nervous, a little awake. You are not landing in her mind as another predictable man who says the same safe things, asks the same boring questions, and waits for her to carry the energy. But listen carefully, my friend. This is where most men ruin it. A weak man hears that line and gets scared. He immediately tries to prove he is harmless. He says something like, "No, I am actually a really nice guy." And just like that, the tension disappears. He takes the edge out of the moment because he cannot stand being seen as a man with energy. A reckless man makes the opposite mistake. He hears you are trouble and suddenly his ego wakes up. He leans in too hard. He becomes too bold, too obvious, too hungry. He thinks she gave him permission to push. But that is not leadership. That is a man losing control because one playful sentence touched his desire. A grounded man does neither. Think about Mark, 52, a restaurant owner from Scottsdale, sitting across from Dana, 47, at a quiet rooftop bar. They met through friends, and the conversation has been smooth all night. Mark is not trying to impress her with money stories or fake confidence. He is relaxed. He listens. He challenges her a little when she says she only dates men who are safe and predictable. He smiles and says, "Safe and predictable sounds like a long way to say boring." Dana laughs, looks at him for a second longer than usual and says, "You are trouble." That is the moment. If Mark gets loud, crude, or too eager, he breaks the spell. If he backs away and apologizes for the energy, he kills it. But if he stays calm, holds her eyes for a beat, and says, "Only if you are afraid of honest men," then lets the silence breathe. He keeps the tension alive. That is what she is really watching. When she calls you trouble, she may be testing whether you can handle playful tension without becoming foolish. Can you stay steady when the conversation gets warmer? Can you enjoy the charge without becoming controlled by it? Can you give her a little edge while still making her feel safe? That is the difference between masculine energy and immature impulse. A stoic man understands that attraction is not something to chase like a starving man. It is something to hold with composure. Desire can be present, but it does not get to drive. Chemistry can rise, but it does not get to make you reckless. Your job is to remain centered enough to read the whole moment. Her tone matters. Her eyes matter. Her body language matters. Is she smiling? Is she leaning in? Is she staying close? Is the energy playful and comfortable? Or did she say it while pulling back, creating distance or trying to slow things down? A mature man does not grab one phrase and build a fantasy around it. He reads the full picture. So when she says you are trouble, do not over-explain. Do not pounce. Do not turn the moment into a performance. Keep your voice calm. Let your confidence stay quiet. Give her a response with just enough edge to keep the spark alive, but enough control to show her she is not dealing with a desperate man. The goal is not to prove you are trouble. The goal is to show her you can carry tension without losing yourself. If this hits home, write this in the comments. I hold tension. Stay with me because the next part reveals why one simple compliment about your scent can carry more meaning than most men realize. Number 2. When she notices your scent. Let me tell you something most men underestimate, folks. When a woman notices your scent, she is not just complimenting your cologne. She is telling you that her awareness has moved closer to your physical presence. A woman can say she likes your jacket, your watch, your shoes, or the way you carry yourself. That is good. Take it. But those compliments usually stay on the surface. They belong to what she can see from a comfortable distance. Scent is different. Scent lives closer to memory, comfort, attraction, and the body. So when she says you smell good, or leans in just slightly and notices your scent, understand what is happening. She has become aware of you in a more personal way. She is not just looking at you, she is experiencing you. That does not mean the night is decided. It does not mean you suddenly have permission to rush forward. It means there may be a warmer current under the conversation, and this is exactly where men make mistakes. The insecure man gets awkward. He laughs too hard, looks away, and throws the moment away because he does not know how to receive attention. The hungry man does the opposite. He hears the compliment and immediately moves too close. His eyes change. His energy changes. He turns a light, intimate signal into pressure. Both reactions weaken attraction. A stoic man receives the compliment like a man who already knows how to stand in his own skin. He does not act surprised that a woman noticed him. He does not beg for more. He does not turn one sentence into a fantasy. He simply stays calm, lets the moment land, and allows her curiosity to breathe. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. In this situation, you do not control what she feels. You do not control what she means. You do not control where the night goes. What you control is your response, your breath, your voice, your pace, your discipline. That is where masculine presence shows. When she notices your scent, the best response is simple. A calm smile, steady eye contact. "Maybe I am glad you noticed," or "I chose well then." Short, relaxed, no explaining, no chasing, no sudden move into her space unless the moment clearly invites it. Do you see the difference, my friend? The power is not in the line. The power is in the man behind the line. If your energy becomes needy, even a good response feels weak. If your energy stays grounded, even a simple response can create tension. Scent is powerful because it bypasses logic. It does not ask for permission from the mind before it creates a feeling. It can remind her of closeness, comfort, warmth, and presence. But that is exactly why you must handle it with restraint. The more personal the signal, the more controlled the man must be. Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Many men hear a compliment and immediately start imagining the outcome. They leave the present moment and start chasing what might happen later. That is how they stop seeing what is actually happening now. Stay here. Stay present. Notice her tone. Notice whether she remains close after saying it. Notice whether her body softens or pulls away. The compliment is information, not a contract. Treat it with respect. A woman remembering your scent is one thing. A woman remembering how calm you stayed when she noticed it is another. That is what separates a man with presence from a man controlled by appetite. If you understand this, write this in the comments. I stay composed. Stay tuned, because the next part shows what it really means when she says she does not usually do this. Number 3. I do not usually do this. When a woman says, I do not usually do this, do not let your imagination run faster than your judgment, folks. That sentence can carry real attraction, but it can also carry hesitation, self-awareness, and a need to feel safe in her own choice. Most men hear only the exciting part. They hear, I am making an exception for you. Then their ego takes over. Their voice changes. Their eyes change. They start pushing for the next step, as if her words gave them ownership of the moment. That is where they lose the very trust that created the opening. A mature man hears the whole sentence. He hears the warmth, but he also hears the vulnerability. She may be saying, the night feels different. She may be saying she surprised herself by staying this long, sharing this much, or feeling this comfortable around you. But underneath it, she is also watching how you handle that information. Think about Brian, 56, a real estate broker from Boston, having dinner with Natalie, 49, after meeting at a charity fundraiser. The conversation has been easy, no cheap lines, no desperate flirting, just calm eye contact, a little teasing, and a quiet sense that both of them are enjoying the pull. After dinner, they sit in his parked car for a few minutes because the conversation has not naturally ended. Natalie looks out the window, smiles, and says, I do not usually sit and talk this long after a first date. Now, Brian has a choice. The needy version of him could jump on that line. He could say something too forward, move too fast, or act like the night has already been decided. That would make Natalie feel exposed for being honest, but Brian stays grounded. He smiles and says, then I will take that as a compliment. No rush. I like that this feels easy. That is the move, my friend. He acknowledges the moment without trapping her inside it. He lets her feel seen without making her feel cornered. He shows interest, but he does not make his interest a burden she has to manage. That kind of restraint makes the space between two people feel honest, calm, and strangely more charged without becoming pressured. This is what a lot of men never learn. When a woman says she does not usually do this, she is often trying to protect her own image, her own pace, or her own emotional safety. She may feel drawn to you, but she does not want to feel careless. She wants to know that you can hold the moment with respect. A Stoic man understands that desire is not a command. It is information. He does not let excitement override awareness. He does not treat her openness like a finish line. He treats it like a doorway that only matters if both people walk through it freely. So your response should be calm, light, and steady. You can say, I like that you feel comfortable, or we can keep this simple and enjoy it. Or good, no need to force anything. These responses work because they do not beg and they do not pressure. They tell her, you are strong enough to let the moment unfold. Remember this, her exception is not yours to exploit, it is yours to honor. The more grounded you remain, the more comfortable she feels letting the connection deepen. If this speaks to you, write this in the comments, I move wisely. Let us keep going because the next part shows how one line about the night getting late can reveal whether she wants the moment to continue. Number 4. It is late but fun. When a woman says it is late but this is fun, pay attention to both halves of that sentence, folks. Most men hear only the part they want to hear, and that is where they lose the moment. The first half says it is late. That is reality. Time, responsibility, caution. Tomorrow morning, the part of her mind that knows the night cannot stretch forever. The second half says, but this is fun. That is the open door. That is the part that says the connection still has warmth, energy, and curiosity. Now do not get reckless with that. She is not handing you a contract. She is giving you a moment to handle with maturity. A passive man hears it is late and immediately backs down. He says, yeah, you are right, you should go, even though the energy is still alive. He is so afraid of rejection that he abandons leadership. A careless man hears this is fun and pushes too hard. He assumes the night belongs to him now. Both men fail because both men are controlled by fear. One fears rejection, the other fears missing out. A Stoic man hears the whole sentence and stays centered. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In this moment, her decision is outside your control. The final direction of the night is outside your control. But your composure, your clarity, your restraint and your respect are fully yours. That is where strength shows. The right response is not begging. It is not pushing. It is offering a clean path. You might say, "I am enjoying this too. We can take one more walk, or we can end it here and leave something to look forward to." That kind of response is powerful because it gives direction without taking away her freedom. Do you see the difference, my friend? You are not asking her to carry the whole decision. You are not forcing her to defend a boundary. You are simply leading with options. And options make a woman feel safe enough to be honest. This is how mature attraction grows. Not through pressure, not through rushing, not through trying to turn one warm sentence into a guaranteed outcome. It grows when she feels that you can hold desire without becoming needy and hold opportunity without becoming greedy. Seneca wrote, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." Small moments like this prove you, not in public, not with noise, quietly, privately. When desire is present and your discipline is tested, if she is still facing you, relaxed, smiling, lingering and keeping the conversation alive, then calmly offer the next step. If her tone changes, her body pulls away, or her energy closes, let the night end with dignity. Do not punish her for needing space. Do not become cold because she did not choose the outcome you wanted. And folks, if you want deeper lessons like this, consider joining as a channel member. Membership helps support content built for men who want to master Stoic discipline, attraction, emotional control, and mature masculine presence. Remember this: sometimes the strongest move is not extending the night. Sometimes it is ending it so well that she wants another one. If you understand this, write this in the comments. I lead gently. Stay with me because the next part shows why a simple question about where you live can reveal more than most men realize. Number 5. Do you live close by? When a woman asks, "Do you live close by?" do not let your mind sprint ahead of the moment, folks. That question can carry interest, comfort, curiosity, and possibility. But it is not a guarantee. It is not permission. It is not a finish line. It is a signal that needs context. This is where many men lose their edge. They hear that question, and suddenly their calm disappears. Their eyes change. Their voice changes. They start acting like something has already been decided. And my friend, the moment a woman feels that shift, the energy can turn from warm to uncomfortable very quickly. A mature man does not do that. He does not grab one sentence and build a fantasy around it. He listens to the question, reads the room and stays grounded. Think about James, 58, a divorced attorney from Tampa, having dinner with Laura, 51, after meeting through mutual friends. The night has gone well. They are not rushing. They are not forcing anything. They have talked about work, travel, grown children, old mistakes, and what they both want from this stage of life. There is warmth but also respect. After dinner they walk outside. Laura is not hurrying to her car. She stays beside him. Her shoulders are relaxed. Her voice is soft. Then she looks at him and says, "Do you live close by?" Now James has a choice. The reckless version of him could turn that into pressure. He could smirk, make the moment too obvious, or push for an outcome before she has clearly offered one. That would make Laura regret asking. It would tell her he cannot handle a little possibility without becoming hungry. But James stays composed. He says, "Not too far. About 10 minutes from here." Why do you ask? Simple, calm, open. That answer gives her room to reveal what she actually means. Maybe she is curious. Maybe she is thinking about continuing the conversation. Maybe she just wants to know the logistics. Maybe she is testing whether he can stay respectful when the night becomes more personal. That is the point. He does not assume. He allows the moment to breathe. Let us be honest. When a woman asks if you live close by, She may be wondering whether the night can continue somewhere quieter. She may be feeling comfortable enough to imagine more time with you. She may be checking how available the next step even is. But if you jump too fast, you can turn a warm question into a wall. This is why context matters. Is she smiling when she asks? Is she still close to you? Does her tone feel playful, curious, or nervous? Is she leaning in or pulling back? Has the whole night built trust, or are you just hoping one sentence means more than it does? A stoic man reads reality, not fantasy. The strongest response is direct, but not eager. You can say, "I am nearby, but there is no rush," or "I am close enough if you want to keep the night going," or "not far, but only if that feels right to you." These responses do something powerful. They show interest without pressure. They show leadership without entitlement. They make the next step clear while leaving her free to choose. That freedom matters. A woman feels safest with a man who can hold possibility without turning it into expectation. She wants to know that if she opens a door, you will not kick it down. You will stand there with calm confidence and let her decide whether to walk through. So when she asks, "Do you live close by?" stay steady. Do not overplay it. Do not hide from it. Answer cleanly. Read her comfort. Let the moment unfold with dignity. If this makes sense, write this in the comments. I read context. Do not go anywhere, because the next part reveals what she may really mean when she asks if you think she is innocent. Number 6. Am I really innocent? When a woman asks, "Do you think I am really that innocent?" do not treat it like a throwaway line, folks. That question often carries a little spark under the surface. It is playful, but it is not empty. She may be testing how you see her, how quickly you judge her, and whether you can handle a warmer conversation without becoming crude or losing your balance. This is where many men expose their lack of control. One man gets nervous and runs back into safe, boring territory. He says something dull because he is afraid of the tension. Another man goes too far and turns the moment cheap. He mistakes playfulness for permission and tries to drag the conversation somewhere she did not invite it to go. Both reactions tell her the same thing. This man does not know how to hold tension with maturity. Let me be clear, my friend. When she asks this, she may not be asking for an answer about innocence. She may be asking whether you can see that she has layers. She is not just polite, not just sweet, not just proper. She may be showing you that there is a more playful, daring, curious side under the surface, but she wants to know if you can notice it without mishandling it. That is the real test. A stoic man does not become reactive just because the energy changes. He does not let one charged question pull him out of his frame. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Think about that right here. If a playful line makes you lose your discipline, then you are not leading the moment. The moment is leading you. The right response is calm, light, and controlled. You might say, "I think you know exactly what you are doing," or "I think innocent is only part of the story," or "You are probably more dangerous than you let people believe." Then stop. Do not over-explain. Do not keep stacking words. Do not turn a clean moment into nervous noise. Silence after a strong line is part of the power. Most men cannot handle that silence. They say something good, then ruin it by adding too much. They laugh too hard. They keep talking. They try to force her reaction. But when you can let the line breathe, you show her that you are not begging for approval. You are comfortable with the energy you created. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands unmoved and the raging of the sea falls still around it." That is the energy you need here. Not cold, not stiff, unmoved, in the sense that you do not get swept away by excitement. You remain steady while the conversation warms up. And remember this, playful tension is not a green light to ignore comfort. It is simply an opening to see whether the connection has more depth. Watch her body. Does she smile? Does she hold your gaze? Does she stay close? Does her voice remain warm? If yes, you can keep the tone playful. If she pulls back, changes posture, or becomes quiet in a closed way, you ease off immediately. That is not weakness, that is awareness. A mature woman respects a man who can meet her playful side without making her regret showing it. She wants to feel that you can enjoy the tension but still respect the line. That balance is rare, and rare is memorable. If this makes sense, write this in the comments. I handle tension. Let us keep going, because the next part reveals why the words "you are different" can separate you from every man she has already forgotten. Number 7. When she says you are different. When a woman says you are different, do not let that compliment make you drunk on yourself, folks. It feels good, sure, but if you grab it like a starving man, you prove you are not as different as she thought. That sentence usually means she has compared you to the men she is used to, men who talk too much, men who chase too quickly, men who turn every warm smile into pressure, men who try to impress her instead of actually being present with her. So when she says you are different, she may be telling you that your energy does not feel like the usual noise. But listen carefully, my friend. Different does not mean better forever. It means you have her attention right now. What you do next decides whether that attention deepens or disappears. Think about Anthony, 55, a small business owner from Chicago, meeting Vanessa, 49, at a private dinner after a mutual friend introduces them. Vanessa is attractive, sharp, and used to men performing around her. Some brag, some flatter, some try to act younger than they are. Anthony does not do any of that. He speaks calmly. He asks real questions. He disagrees with her once respectfully, instead of pretending every opinion she has is perfect. He laughs when something is actually funny, not every time he wants approval. After an hour, Vanessa leans back, studies him for a second and says, "You are different." Now this is the dangerous moment. A needy man would ask, "Really, how am I different?" hoping she will feed his ego. A cocky man would say, "Yeah, I know most men are weak," and make himself look insecure under the arrogance. A passive man would shrug it off because he does not know how to receive attraction. Anthony simply smiles and says, "Good, I would hate to be predictable." Then he lets the conversation breathe. That is the response of a man who does not need the compliment to become true. When she says you are different, she is often noticing self-command. She feels that you are not trying to force chemistry. She feels that you can hold eye contact without begging for reassurance. She feels that you are interested but not dependent. That combination creates quiet tension because she realizes you are not just another man waiting to be chosen. This is where the Stoic spirit becomes attractive. You do not become different by learning tricks. You become different by not being ruled by every impulse. You do not overreact to beauty. You do not collapse under attention. You do not turn desire into pressure. You stay centered, and that steadiness separates you from the crowd. But do not misunderstand this. Being different is not about acting cold. It is not about pretending you do not care. A woman can feel fake indifference. Real difference is warmth with restraint, confidence without performance, desire without desperation, presence without need. It is the feeling that you can want her, enjoy her, and still remain loyal to your own center. So when she gives you that line, receive it calmly. Do not fish for more. Do not chase validation. Do not change your behavior to protect the compliment. Stay exactly as grounded as you were before she said it. That is what makes her believe it. Because the moment you need her to explain your value, you lose the value she was noticing. If you have heard this before, write this in the comments. I stand apart. Stay with me, because the next part shows what she may really be asking when she looks at you and says, "So what now?" Number 8. When she asks what now. When a woman looks at you and says, "So what now?" do not treat it like a random question, folks. In the right context, that line can carry real weight. She may be asking if you can lead the next moment without becoming awkward, passive, or careless. But let me be very clear, my friend. Leading does not mean pushing. It does not mean assuming. It does not mean turning a warm night into pressure. A man who hears "so what now" and immediately tries to force intimacy is not confident. He is just controlled by his appetite. A passive man makes a different mistake. He freezes. He laughs nervously and says, "I do not know, what do you want to do?" That may sound polite, but it places the full weight of the moment on her. It tells her he is afraid to make a decision. It tells her he wants her to lead because he does not trust himself. The Stoic man does not freeze, and he does not force. He offers direction with calm. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That applies perfectly here. You do not control what she wants. You do not control whether the night continues. You do not control her answer. What you control is your clarity, your tone, your restraint, and your respect. So when she says, "So what now?" slow down inside. Read the whole moment. Is she smiling? Is she still close? Is her voice warm? Is she lingering instead of leaving? Has the night built trust, or are you trying to turn one sentence into a fantasy? A mature man does not lead from imagination. He leads from reality. A strong response gives her a path without trapping her inside it. You might say, "We can take one more walk, or we can call it here," and leave something to look forward to. You might say, "I am enjoying this, and if you are comfortable, we can keep the night going somewhere quieter." Or you can simply say, "No rush. I like where the energy is." Those lines work because they do not beg. They do not corner her. They do not make her responsible for your confidence. They show interest, but they leave space. That space is what makes the difference. Do you see it, folks? Real masculine leadership is not loud. It is clean. It says, "I know where I stand and I respect where you stand." It gives direction without taking freedom away. Seneca said, "Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power." That is the man she can relax around. Not the man who needs the night to go his way. Not the man who collapses if she says no. The man who can offer a next step, hear her answer, and stay steady either way. That kind of control creates trust. And trust is what allows attraction to deepen naturally. So if she asks, "So what now?" do not panic. Do not pounce. Do not hide behind fake politeness. Lead with clarity. Give her a simple choice. Let her answer freely. If she moves with you, continue calmly. If she does not end the moment with dignity, a woman remembers the man who made desire feel safe, not forced. If you understand this, write this in the comments. I lead clearly. Do not go anywhere, because the next part shows why the way you respond to her boundary may decide everything. Number 9. When she draws the line. When a woman says something like, "We are not doing that tonight," stop right there, folks. Do not treat that line like a puzzle. Do not treat it like a challenge. Do not treat it like something you are supposed to talk your way around. First and foremost, hear it as a boundary. And how you respond to that boundary will reveal exactly what kind of man you are. A lot of men fail here because they confuse attraction with permission. The night has gone well. She has laughed. She has stayed close. She has given little signs of warmth. Then she draws a line, and suddenly his ego gets wounded. He thinks, why say that if she was not thinking about it? Why bring it up? If she did not feel something, maybe she does feel something. Maybe there is tension. Maybe she is attracted. But none of that changes the line she just drew. Think about Paul, 57, a consultant from Seattle, out with Maria, 51, after a dinner date downtown. The chemistry is clear. They have been walking slowly, standing close, and the conversation has become more personal. As they reach her car, Maria smiles and says, "I like you, but we are not rushing anything tonight." Now, Paul has a choice. A weak man would sulk. He would make a bitter joke. He would act like she insulted him. A desperate man would try to negotiate. He would say, "Come on, I thought we had a connection." A careless man would keep pushing because he thinks her boundary is just a wall he is supposed to climb. But Paul does something different. He stays calm. He smiles, nods once, and says, "Good. I would rather you feel comfortable than pressured." That one sentence tells her everything. It tells her his confidence does not depend on immediate access. It tells her he can want her without making his desire her problem. It tells her that closeness with him does not come with punishment, pressure, or emotional games. That is real masculine control. Let us be honest, my friend. Sometimes a woman draws the line because she does feel the pull and wants to make sure things stay within her pace. Sometimes she says it because she has dealt with men who turn warm energy into pressure. Sometimes she is protecting her peace, her standards, or simply her right to choose the speed of the connection. Whatever the reason, your job is not to argue with it. Your job is to respect it cleanly. The Stoic man does not lose his center when he hears, "No, not tonight," or "not yet." He does not collapse into rejection. He does not turn cold to punish her. He does not try to guilt her into changing her mind. He controls himself. That is the whole point. And here is what most men miss. Respecting the boundary does not kill attraction. In many cases, it builds trust. It lets her body relax because she sees that your interest is not a threat to her freedom. She learns that she can be honest with you and still be treated with warmth. That is rare, and rare is powerful. So when she draws the line, answer with dignity. You can say, "I respect that," or "We can take our time," or "No pressure, I like being here with you." Then mean it. Stay steady, stay warm, keep your self-respect. Because a woman remembers the man who respected her boundary without losing his strength. If this is how you lead, write this in the comments. I honor boundaries. Stay with me, because the final part brings everything together and shows the Stoic way to lead without pressure, panic, or losing yourself. Number 10. The Stoic way to lead. Now we bring the whole lesson together, folks, because the real point is not memorizing every phrase a woman might say. The real point is learning how to hear those phrases without losing your calm, your judgment, or your respect. That is the Stoic way to lead. Most men want certainty before they move. They want a perfect sign, a perfect line, a perfect moment where rejection becomes impossible. But life does not work that way. Attraction does not come with a printed instruction manual. A woman may hint, she may test, she may open a door slightly, she may pull back to see if you respect space. And if you are not grounded, you will either freeze or force. Both are weakness. The man who freezes is controlled by fear. He is so afraid of rejection that he makes the woman carry the whole moment. He waits, hesitates, overthinks, and then wonders why the energy fades. The man who forces is controlled by appetite. He grabs at every signal because he cannot sit with desire without trying to turn it into an outcome. The Stoic man is different. He does not need the moment to guarantee him anything. He reads it clearly. He listens to her words, but he also watches her comfort. He notices her tone, her pace, her distance, her hesitation, and her openness. He does not build a fantasy from one sentence. He studies the whole reality in front of him. That is where real masculine leadership begins. Not in pressure, not in performance, not in trying to prove how bold you are. Real leadership is calm direction. It is saying, "I am enjoying this, and if you are comfortable, we can keep it going." It is giving her a clean option without making her feel trapped. It is showing interest without turning your desire into her responsibility. Let me be straight with you, my friend. If your next move depends on her being confused, guilty, polite, or afraid to disappoint you, that is not leadership. That is weakness wearing a mask. But if your next move gives her clarity, space, safety, and choice, then you are leading like a man. This is why Stoicism matters so much in attraction. It teaches you to control what belongs to you: your breath, your voice, your pace, your thoughts, your hands, your reaction to yes, your reaction to no. You cannot control whether she wants the night to continue. You cannot control whether she feels the same pull you feel. But you can control whether you remain honorable inside that uncertainty. And that is what women remember. They remember the man who did not panic when the energy got warm. They remember the man who could flirt without becoming crude. They remember the man who could hear a boundary without sulking. They remember the man who could lead without taking away freedom. That kind of man creates trust. And trust is not boring. Trust is what allows deeper tension to exist without fear. When a woman feels that you are strong enough to desire her and disciplined enough to respect her, your presence becomes different. She can relax, she can stay curious, she can choose more freely because she does not feel hunted. So stop chasing hidden signals like a desperate man. Stop treating attraction like a code you must crack. Start asking a better question. Am I seeing the moment clearly, or am I being ruled by what I want? If you can answer that honestly, you will move differently. You will speak with more weight. You will stop rushing warmth into pressure. You will stop turning uncertainty into panic. You will become the man who creates intimacy through presence, patience, and self-command. That is the Stoic way to lead. Calm eyes, clear words, steady breath, respectful action, desire under discipline, strength under control, freedom on both sides. Because intimacy without self-control is just appetite, but intimacy guided by presence and respect becomes something a woman can trust, remember, and willingly move toward. So remember this, folks, the real lesson is not to chase hidden signals or force the moment. It is to read the whole situation with calm eyes, clear judgment, and self-control. Today we broke down the subtle phrases a woman may say when there is attraction, curiosity, and tension in the air. But the deeper value is this: a Stoic man does not panic push or lose himself. He leads with presence, patience, and respect. If you want deeper lessons on masculine presence, attraction, emotional discipline, and Stoic relationship mastery, consider joining as a channel member. Your support helps us create stronger content for men who are serious about growth. And if this video helped you, subscribe to the channel so you do not miss tomorrow's lesson. Thank you for watching, my friend. Stay grounded, stay sharp, and I will see you tomorrow.